Hi, everybody. Welcome to the PhD Journey Unplugged podcast. I'm Dr. Sarah Gordon, and I am super excited to have my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Marilyn Ward, back
Oh,
to be here today. And we're excited to invite Laura Rossetti back. If you haven't had an opportunity to listen to episode 19, we recorded it, I guess, end of September, maybe.
yes.
Uh,
Hmm.
So, but it was honoring the journey to Kona. And Laura went down to Kona in October to race at the age of 70. And it was Laura, was it your 28th,
20,
27th?
it was actually my 30th to go there and start the race, but it was my 28th finish.
Oh my gosh.
So when I met Laura during my doctoral journey, my PhD journey, I just had this great connection. I was just inspired by you and was so grateful that you came on to talk to us and it's so much more than just your athleticism. It's just your whole perspective on community and just spreading love and joy with everything that you do. So I'm
I try.
excited it's true. So I'm excited to have you back.
Thank
And
you.
we're going to talk about what happened, how it was, how you're still standing, you're still
I am.
smiling. So this is good.
Yeah,
So,
overall, what is like if you just had one word to describe it, what's the one word just to describe it?
I think this time I would say perseverance. I had
Huh?
to persevere tremendously, a tremendous amount, I would say. Yeah.
It looking at it online, like the different races and social media, like it definitely a lot of people dropped,
Yeah.
right? Some big names dropped. The
Big name.
temperature, the heat, so share so when you say persevere, I totally get it. So what did it feel like that day?
well,
Um,
Laura, let me tell you this as an observer because I watched you cross the finish line. So it makes me cry because how many miles did you run with severe back pain?
This race, it started at mile 13, and by mile 18, I had to walk. So I walked the last 8 miles,
But
bent over.
that was the perseverance. I mean, you
Yeah.
just, when you crossed, I could just tell, like, you're tough. You are just a badass.
Because that's still a lot to
Where
finish,
does that
right?
come from? Where does that come from? Seriously.
I I mean, I just didn't want to quit.
Okay.
I've been there twice and had to DNF, and I didn't. It's just a hard feeling because it just is. And my
Right.
knees just were not going to play. So I'm like, it's just a back. I can deal with the back. I couldn't deal with the knee swelling to the size of a grapefruit. I just, that was not possible. But so I was my back and I'm like, okay, I can just keep moving forward. And that's all. I mean, I would lay on the ground. I would try and stretch my back. I would
Ugh.
just it was really hard, but I was probably the most proud of that race because I did stick with it, and you know I, I and I wasn't sure I would. Like there were points when I'm like, oh, this is pretty darn miserable. And
Right?
I came off the bike in decent place, and I'm like, hundreds of girls are passing me, and I'm like, huh. And I'm still competitive no matter what. I just
Hmm.
am. And but I just let all that go. So that's the thing. You kind of, when I was out there, I kind of just went, okay, I
Right.
got this. And I just had to keep moving forward. So it was one step in front of the other. And then hold on to the guardrail and stretch. And then, yeah. So it was just, it was a day. It was a day. Yeah. It was my day.
It
It was.
was your day, you personified perseverance in that day. And so tell us just like the getting down there, what it feels like to be in Kona, like the
Oh,
energy of it all.
yeah. That, of all the places I've traveled and spent time in, that's probably my happiest place in the world. I love the Pacific Ocean, and I just love the Pacific Ocean in Kona. Like that is just, there were dolphins. even on race day, there were dolphins on the coffee boat, swim to the coffee boat. My children were there. My grandkids were there. The last mile, they were walking on the sidewalk, cheering me
Oh,
on. It was making me cry. So for them to see that the toughness of the day and that I wasn't going to give up.
right.
And literally, my 13-year-old grandson caught me. I fell in the finisher chute way before like Natalie fell, but I fell because I hit a stanchion and I just went down. And I got back up and he showed me the video. Like, do not show that to anyone. Just put that away. Delete it. So that they were there, that they saw, they didn't get to see it when it was easier and I was healthy, and they didn't get to see all that, but they got to see their nanny sticking with it, and trying to, get to that finish line, because honestly, in all the things I've done, that is the best finish line in the world, the best. And it's just a culmination of the whole day. And there you are, and it's just, for me, that's my happiest place to be. And I still, do I want to go back? I mean, that if you'd asked me a month ago, I'd probably said probably not.
Right,
But the farther away you become from that day, you look at things differently.
hey,
So,
Laura, it's a lot like giving birth.
yes, you definitely forget
I
that.
feel like your grandchildren and even your children, they're going to talk about that moment
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives.
Well, and
They're like,
the
my
really cool thing is
nanny.
my 13-year-old grandson's in seventh grade, and they were not happy that he was going to be gone for a week. But my daughter sent the article you wrote, Sarah, to all his teachers.
Oh,
And they were like, oh my God, your nanny's kind of a badass. And
you
Yeah.
are. You are.
so
I
they were
recognize that.
happy to
Yeah.
send him, to let him, and he's the only one that didn't do the schoolwork. The other ones had some schoolwork, but that's my daughter. She's been with me, for through a lot of them. And so yeah, they saw how hard it can be. They saw that if you stick to something, good things can come from that.
A true
So
leader by example. Like, wow.
it was, at the end, it was fun. I was happy to be on the podium. I mean, I was ecstatic because I got off the bike and I was so far ahead,
How
because I
many
love the
women,
swim the bike.
how many women were in the age group?
11 that started,
That's kind of
and
incredible.
that's the most they've ever had, ever.
Wow.
So 11 started, one didn't finish, and 10 of them finished. So yeah, it was just.
And I know you're humble, but you can't, how did you do?
Oh, I finished third. I had second for a really long time, but
But that's amazing. I mean,
Golly, yeah.
first of all, that there was 11. If you think about over the years, you've been in the sport a long
oh
time.
yeah,
Because I know from my research and from my stories, like in the late 1980s and the 1990s, there weren't even women in
no,
that age
Yeah.
group.
no. And I'll tell you just a short story. I coached a woman named Susan Norman, and she is now 80 or 81. And she was the only finisher then in 16 hours and 57 minutes. So that was by 3 minutes. She won her age group. She was the only finisher, and
Changed a
it
lot.
was just so amazing. And that's in 10 years, it's gone from one finisher, one person, to now all 10 of us finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So, and it will
amazing.
continue to go up and up, which is great. I mean, it's great for the sport, I
Mhm.
think.
That's why I said age is just a number, right? It
It
is the
is. Well,
individual. I mean,
uh,
age is right. We know that there's things that happen when we age,
yes,
this and that, but it is truly the individual and how they take care of themselves.
right.
And I think that mental part of it, even like out there, because you have to really be your own cheerleader and really right in your
Right.
mind to push through the way you did, like towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, my husband saw me like 3 or 4 different times out on the highway, and he said, "You can quit anytime you want." And I go, I really probably had a choice word to say to him, but I just said no. I'm not. Stop saying that to me. And then
You
I
know what
didn't
you,
see him again, so it
you
was
know what you
okay.
did? You know
But
what you did? You went, "Hey now, I'm a rock star."
rockstar, I sang that a lot.
Isn't that the
Maybe not
song?
when I was
Is that
bent
the
over
song?
walking, but
I
yes, that was
think
my
that's the
song
song.
on the bike. I was singing it on the bike. Because the thing is, we started I think it was 65, 60 and older women started after the pros and after the 35-year-old women. So I probably got passed on the bike. I told my husband, maybe 800 women passed me. And I'm thinking I'm a strong cyclist, but in that race, going the time that I went, So, first that was my first thing thinking, okay, this is different than all your other races because you haven't raced this age before. And you weren't one of the first starters. Typically, Ironman always put us last. So, no one's out there. You're kind of out there all by yourself. So this was, also very humbling on that day when you're like, I thought I was a good biker. But, so yeah, that was
It's
an
good.
interesting thing.
It's good reality check to
It
have
is. Yes.
peers and the competition in your life. It
Yes.
does. It helps you decide, gauge where you need to grow and
Yes.
you know.
So
But
it's all that. It's grit, it's determination. It's really 80% mental. Like it
mhm,
would be easy when you're feeling badly to walk away, but I could not do it this time because I knew I could get to the finish. I had enough time. Like I have 17 hours, and at the
mhm,
point where I started walking, I was probably at I don't know, uh, 12 hours in,
mhm.
11 hours
Oh,
in, something
wow.
like
Good,
that.
good time.
So I knew,
So
you
let
know,
me ask you this question because this podcast and the vision for it always was to be about mental health and physical
hmm
health and social emotional health. And the reason I love your story, not only because I'm a triathlete myself and I, value physical activity. I mean, I'm not a triathlete like you. I just,
are, no, don't say
well,
that.
okay, but it's different. Everything's relative.
Because I've been doing
Everything,
it for 40 years.
yeah,
That's
everything.
all.
But I mean, I enjoy swim, bike, run. That's the way
Yeah.
I should say it.
Yes.
And I understand how important physical activity is in your life. But I
hmm
also think that some of the things and I'm, hoping you'll share some of the things, some of the lessons that you learn pursuing an Ironman are really strong lessons to teach all of us on how to
Yes.
get through hard things in our lives.
Yes.
So that's really the reason beyond loving you and you're a great athlete and you're a great person and everybody knows you, says it, I read it all over social media. But how do we teach other people these skills to overcome hard things in their lives?
I think that you have to take each piece of whatever it is you're choosing to do
Okay.
a little bit at a time. Like you have to just break it off into pieces. Like when I was running, I'm like, okay, I'll run for 3 minutes and then I'm going to walk for 30 seconds. So as long as I could do that, I would do that. So again, I took that marathon instead of saying, oh, I'm going to run without stopping, except in the aid stations. I had to change that pretty quickly on. So I knew that the only way for me to do it was to kind of chunk it in just
Okay.
little bits. I can't, and I think anything in life is like that, especially when you
Mhm.
come up against harder things
Mhm.
that you're maybe not as prepared for. And then I just think you have to have a lot of the ability to do a lot of positive self-talk
Mhm.
because it's really easy to do negative. And I always tell my athletes that anytime you spend in a valley, that if you don't get out of that valley pretty quickly, you will stay in that valley because it's so you either smile or you laugh or you talk to the person that's next to you or passing you or whatever, you say something because otherwise you'll stick in that valley. And when you stick in that valley, you're gonna not, your day will go really down the tube quickly.
Hmm.
So I
That's good
spent a
advice.
lot of time in self-talk. I've
Okay.
got this. I can, I hurt, but everybody's hurting, so and everyone's hurt's different. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a woman, she was from Belgium. She put her arm around me and she walked with me for probably a half a mile. Just again, just something that little bit of a connection makes your day. And then she said, "Well, I need to get going," because she said, "I'm not having the great race, but let's do this together." So we did it for about a half hour mile, and then I didn't get her number, and I never could find her. I don't, she's Belgium. So just little things that happen during your day, sorry, during the day, no matter what you're doing, can make a huge difference in your outcome. And
Yeah.
and I always say you get to believe in yourself. And I feel like that's not maybe something you would teach, but it just comes to like positive self-talk to
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself.
I think those are
Positive self-talk is,
beautiful.
yeah, that's huge. That was one of my trends in my study. I use the exercise self-efficacy test with my participants, and they're, or my, yeah, of the study, and these are older seniors. And that was one of the common threads was positive self-talk.
Hmm.
They all throughout their life and trying, how they stayed active and
Right.
engaged was I said, you all have an inner cheerleader. So that was nice to
Yes.
see. And I always wonder, like, but again, it comes back and we're always trying to answer this question. How does one person have it and one person doesn't? How do you get to be that? How do you get that inner motivator?
I think part of it is that you have a good outlook on life anyway, no matter what curveballs you get thrown. I mean, I look at back at when I was having knee surgeries over the course of 2 years and how I could have spent a lot of time being really negative about what was happening to my body, what was happening to me, and the fact that I wasn't going to race the way I wanted to race. But on the other hand, I kept saying, I'm just going to keep working. I'll go to my PT 3 days a week and I'll go in there with a smile and I'll work as hard as I can work. And then I also have the mindset of just, doing everything on my own. Like I went after my last Ironman race in April. I went to my a fitness. So it's like mobility fitness. It's not weights. It's just movement. And I worked on my glutes because women tend to have glutes that don't fire. Just anyway, so I worked on that and I kind of overworked them. But I mean, I would do that 5 days a week, no matter what. I would find 10 minutes, go someplace and do high bridges and leg lifts and fire hydrants and stuff that you hate to do on a daily basis. But
Yeah.
I also know that the only way to move forward is to have a healthy body. And you're not going to do it without that. So I think that's just something that is, to me, it's kind of common sense. And hopefully, as people come up against different things in life, that will, shine through for them as well. Because you have
It's
to.
it's interesting that you talk about the curveballs because I just had this conversation this morning about, how do you navigate curveballs so they don't
Yeah.
just derail you? And it
Yes.
really can be, if you're listening to this podcast today and you're working on your doctorate or you're pursuing an academic, a professional goal or athletic goal, it's those curveballs,
Mhm.
right? The things that we can control, they feel pretty good, but it's like something comes your path that you have no control over and you really need to have skills and strategies. And I think you can learn them. And that's was our
Mhm.
conversation this morning I had. I think you can learn strategies to handle curveballs so they don't just really derail you. And I think one strategy I came up with is okay, this just came across your path, whatever it is,
Right.
think about it. Think about it. And because you can control that, you can control
Right.
what's my next step,
Right.
right?
Right.
And only you
Um,
can.
what?
Right.
Only
Yeah.
you can do that.
Right. And so, give yourself some space in it. Don't react right away. Give yourself a
Yeah.
little time, a pause to think about how to process it and then how you can then get more control over it. So I love that. And I think that's a great strategy for mental health too.
Well, I
Um,
like how you just said react, how you react to it.
yeah.
Is right. Even if you get in an argument with somebody, instead of absorbing and listening for a second, what do? We are so quick to react.
Yes.
And sometimes that, like if your husband said, "Hey, come on, get in the car," and your first reaction was like, "Yeah, you're right, because this sucks." But you're not. You're like, "Nope,
Right.
let me think
Right.
about it. No, I'm going to stay. I'm going to do it." So, yeah, if you like pausing for the moment before you react, that's good. Because I'm a quick reactor, I think sometimes I have to stop myself.
But I also think it's really important, and I want to ask you what you think about this, is to also recognizing that people around you, when you're struggling, when you're going through something in your life, and we're all strong women, we know we can,
Right.
do this and, do it on our own if we need to, but sometimes in life you really got to accept the grace of other people,
Yes.
seeing, okay. I love you and you're going to get hurt. And I think about
Right.
Lucy Charles Barkley
Hmm.
and the love, it gives me goosebumps, the
Yeah.
love of her husband saying, you know what, you're going to get hurt here
Yeah.
and coming to peace with it. And I think that's a real champion,
Yeah.
understanding that you need to pull back a bit too.
And you don't always realize it when you're in the moment.
Right. You need
Right.
somebody outside to tell
Yes.
you,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
you know,
And you have to take care of yourself. You
yeah,
just,
it was a
you
great
have
moment. It was a beautiful
and
moment.
you have to, I think, also to you have to problem solve. You have to the best that you can in the moment, problem solve. And if you can continue to persevere, then do that. If you can't, like when my knee blew up in 2022, I tried. I even tried walking, and it just got to the point that it was so painful. And the medical doctors were out there, and they said, "Well, it looks like you fractured your knee." And I'm like, "No, I'm having a knee replacement next week." So I didn't. But he said, "Well, you probably need to think about it's not going to be good for you to continue on, even if you are getting a new hardware. It's just
Right.
It's
not good."
tough
So
though.
yeah,
It's
and so
tough.
that's when I was done. But again, that's a smarter thing to do. So you have to be able to problem solve on a day,
Yeah.
all
Hmm.
days.
And I think
And
there's
it,
a fine line of an ego, like where we let our ego get in the way. We're like, well, I'm the best of the best, and I've been number one, and I'm going to continue. And putting yourself in harm at that
Right,
point, like, you don't, so you got to be careful not to sometimes let that ego
right. You
take
do.
over.
Yes, and it's
yeah,
easy to
problem
take over.
solve, but be open-minded that there are other people too that can offer you,
Yeah.
Right.
strategies and things that you need to keep going and to be the best version of yourself that you possibly can be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what did you eat after the Ironman? How hungry were
Gosh.
you?
So all of us walked up to that. We had two cars. All of us walked up to the car. So after the race, I didn't go to the medical tent because I was so bent over there, worried I'd done something to my
Yeah.
back. And so when I got there, the doctor was great. He just gave me four Tylenol, two Advil, and a Zofran. He said, "Sit here for 20 minutes and you can go." So I'm like looking at my watch, okay, because my family's out there waiting. So
Right.
I was fine. I said, "I'm fine." I went to the bathroom. They made me go to the bathroom. I'm like, "Okay, I'm good. I can go." And then we walked up, like it's probably up Polani, so it's probably like three full blocks. Our car was parked a half mile away, and I'm walking up a hill. So my son-in-law's on either side of me, holding on to them with all my might. And at this point, you smell and you just gross. And I didn't care. I was not getting up that hill without
Right.
their help. So yeah, so we went and ordered pizza. And I probably had a piece of pizza, but I woke up at like 3 and ate more. So that's pretty typical for me. I'm not really hungry, but pizza is the thing I would go to after. So we
Yeah,
had
I think that
um,
I was gonna say that because it's so funny. I think that after my first marathon that I've ever done, it was
mhm,
pizza. Like
pizza.
I don't know
Yeah.
why that just so
The
because it
best.
like hit all the food groups
Yes.
or it just tasted so good. But that's funny that you
Yes.
pizza.
I mean, and I am a pizza eater, but I mean, a lot of times I don't want to eat anything, but I was pretty hungry because, that's a
Oh,
long time to be
Yeah.
out there eating gels. And,
oh, yeah.
I tried chicken broth and I tried pretzels and, but you get to a point when you're just tired enough that food doesn't even appeal to you,
Right.
I would say. But yeah,
Good
so
cold beer. Give
yeah,
me a good
well,
cold beer.
I actually did have a beer. My husband's a big beer drinker, like a 9.5 or something like that. Oh,
Oh.
so he said no. Anyway,
Does he
so I
want to
had
come
that. So that
on?
probably put me to sleep
Does he
also,
want to
which
come
is
on?
kind of nice out there.
Laura, Laura, does he want to come on?
Huh? Oh, does he want to come on? Do you want to come on?
Come say hi.
Come say hi. What do you mean, who
We
is
want to
it?
meet the number one fan.
It's
He is.
it's
It's a
Sarah and
100
Marilyn.
grade.
No, no pressure. It's okay. Oh,
Hey, how
yay!
are
Hey!
you?
Hi.
Oh, what a great
It's
supporter.
all about the team.
It
Right.
is. It was a team. Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you feel 48 hours afterwards? That's
Um,
be when it all catches up with you.
so all my kids left Sunday between morning and 8 o'clock. So we actually had Sunday night. We went to the awards, and then so Monday we had the whole day to ourselves. And so it was really, I felt okay. I was walking fine. Yeah, I mean, I felt good
Well,
enough.
no, no real back issues then. Your back was fine after it rested.
Uh, yes, but when I ride a bike, so it's been 4 weeks, and so I took 2 weeks and didn't do anything, didn't run a step for 15 days, not one step. And but I bike because that's my first love is riding a bike, and my back would hurt. So the QL muscles on either side of your spine, sort of in the middle below your ribs,
Yeah.
are what kills me. So so I had someone, yes, it's better
Okay.
finally.
Good.
it's a little bit better. But again, it never shows up until I bike 112 miles and try to run 26. Doesn't show
Oh,
up. So I biked
of
plenty of
course,
100 miles
right?
before
Of
the
course.
race. I
Yeah.
ran, 3 hours a few times before the race. It doesn't show up. So I don't know. Hoping
Hmm.
it's never coming back. What I
Yeah.
say.
Let's
Yeah,
hope
I
it
hope
was
Um,
so too. You look like it was you were in some pain there.
okay.
So kudos for you to, I think that's what the Ironman's all about. And there's a very elite group of people like yourself who can say that how do they
A
say it?
lot.
You're now an Ironman. And
Yeah.
so, it just says a lot about your mental strength
Yeah.
and your physical strength and just overcoming obstacles and everything. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of
And
lessons. There's a lot of lessons in it.
it is. And no matter what, I'm super grateful for everything the
Mhm.
island threw at me. So you
Oh,
had a rough ocean swim to start the day with. And then
oh,
it was the heat, which is always heat. It's always hot there, but it was the humidity was really very high. And I think that's what, if you look at the pros, that's probably what got them at that
I was
okay.
racing the
wondering.
level that they race because it's hot, always hot. That never
Mm.
changes. And the ground temperature, they tell you, is 103 degrees or whatever.
Mm.
But it was the humidity on that day that was really high, probably
Okay.
over 70 to 75. I think at the start of the swim it was 85 because it just finished raining before we started
Wow.
swimming. So, but I am just super grateful that I dealt with the heat, the wind, the humidity. I had the patience, the strength, and more importantly, the mental toughness. And I think that comes from racing because it's not like I was, a rock star anything growing up. I was a cheerleader, so it was just something that over the course of the time I fell in love with. And I think when you fall in love with something that you're doing, it's the mental toughness will come because you love
Yeah.
what you're doing.
And
I
you have to
love
believe in
that.
yourself, I think, too.
Yeah.
You
And
have to believe
yeah,
in yourself that you're on the path that you want to be on. And I
right.
love what you said because, the framework of this podcast was from my PhD journey and what I learned and what Marilyn and I learned on that journey. And we can use examples from different disciplines and different
Right.
life experiences to help people on that journey. And you
Right.
said something that's so important, so powerful about breaking things down into small,
Mhm.
and Marilyn used to always say it, into small pieces, into small
Mhm.
parts. Because anything you go after in your life, whatever it is, an Ironman, a PhD, medical school. I have a friend who's just went back to law school, early 60s. I mean, whatever you're doing, whatever weight loss,
Yes.
weight loss goals, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you look at them overall. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's like there's no way. So you have to
Right.
look at them in small incremental
Right.
steps to get to that ultimate goal, to get to that
Right.
finish line. And I think that was really important. Great advice for anybody who's listening today and to this, or whenever you listen to this episode, is that whatever you're dealing with today, don't let it become so big and overwhelming that it paralyzes you with fear or it makes you feel
Okay.
defeated. Just take it one small step at a time
Yeah.
and you'll get there.
You will. You definitely will. I
Yeah.
mean, I came back from not racing for a few years, and you do come back. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had to let go of, oh, I'm going to finish in, 12 and a half hours. No, it's that's probably never be. But you still come back because for me, it's something I enjoy doing. I love it. I love the people that I meet. I love talking all week long. You go to the expo, you just talk to all kinds of people. And that also helps with your mental health as well,
Yes.
because you're in a group of people who are doing something similar,
Right.
obviously. And you all have stories and you all have things you want to share. And yeah, it's great.
And
So,
I think having the knowledge because you have been racing for so long, so your knowledge, and because one of the questions I was going to ask was like if you got out there and you had to do something, and you did.
sorry,
You
my
got,
husband's like rattling around in the kitchen. Stop.
It's okay.
we can't even, we don't
We're
hear
all
anything.
unplugged.
Don't hear anything. But
Good.
you had to, I think your knowledge made it easy for you to pivot in the middle of that race. You didn't know
Yes.
getting out there, you get going and then you're like, oh, the humidity's crazy. Okay, I gotta pivot. Hey, I
Right.
gotta slow down, or hey, I gotta, but I think you having that previous knowledge or years and years of
Oh,
experience of racing
yes.
makes it easier for you to do that where, I've seen people come in, and with no knowledge and they'd have been like, okay,
Yeah.
Normally now, if you get that far where you're like racing Kona, most of those people are knowledgeable. But I've seen it like in a fresh new race where people don't have that experience. So I
Right.
think that's great.
Yeah. I mean, I can think back to my very first one when I was 32, and I'm like, I qualified 6 weeks before. I didn't even know what it was, just all those things, but I
Right.
still smiled. Like I still enjoyed the day.
Yeah.
So,
Enjoy the
yeah,
Just say
day.
enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the
yes, it
day.
is a
Enjoy the
journey.
journey.
It is a journey.
So,
And
question, any lessons learned from this one
um, I think,
specifically?
I think for me on that day, I learned the how important grit, determination, focusing on what's in front of me, just thinking that my body will. I thought it might come around, but it didn't. So, in fact, as the day went on, as the 6.5 hour marathon went on, it just was different. So, but I mean, I just learned to spend more time than I ever had before focusing on what's happening in front of me and knowing how important it is to keep moving my body forward. Even
Moving
if that was
forward.
walking, even if it was laying down for 30 seconds and trying to stretch out a back, that was an important piece of it as well as that, okay, I can do this. I can lay in the middle of the road where people are peeing and getting sick and whatever is happening on the highway and just, live with it and move, keep moving. And so that was important. And it was just, people would tell you, pat you on the back or the shoulder and they'd say, good job, keep going. And, that's the other thing I learned is how important that is,
Mhm.
just random people that you don't know. And maybe that's because I raced with women this year. That was the ultimate best, is to race with just women. But they are, it's not always all about them and what their day
Right.
is bringing. They're willing to say, hey, great job.
Yeah, the
You can get
camaraderie is
there.
there.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing because I haven't always been back there at the end, just trying to get to that finish line. And so that's one, humbling, two, special. It was just special, because I could see everything and watch what's going on in front of me and see all those people just keep going far, farther away. But I was okay with that. I'm like, okay, this is what I have today and this is where I'm going to get today. It might just take me a lot longer than I wanted to. And that's okay. I was good with that once I realized that my back was done. So, um, but I could have just gone into a dark little hole and said,
Right.
oh, woe is me. I'm not going to finish, or, I don't care if I finish at 17 hours. I was still knew that those two women had passed me. And I knew the other woman who was ended up fourth, and I knew she was out there. And I'm like, she's not going to get me. So even
Right.
though I was barely moving forward, I was determined to
Still
try
have
to
that little
stay in third
competitive
place.
edge.
Yeah, it's still there.
I think
So,
you I think you bring up a really important point about the social aspect of
mhm,
the Ironman and the whole community, triathlon community, or just finding, you said once, finding your tribe. I remember you
yes,
saying that on one of our interviews and something, once when we talked and whatever it is in your life, whatever brings passion and purpose to your life, find people that enjoy doing that,
right.
like yourself. And then there's this wonderful positive energy that comes from that.
It's
And
amazing.
then, when you're out on a race like you're explaining, just having that human connection,
Yes,
it's so important. And it's
yes,
amazing when you get outside your own head and you reach
yes,
out to somebody who may be struggling even more than you.
right. I
Yeah.
don't know. I
You
don't think
see
I
how
passed
it
many people.
becomes so positive for
Yeah,
both
it
people,
is. It
Yeah.
you know?
but again, until you actually
But it's
live
hard to
in
do it.
that, yes, it's hard to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
hard to get outside your own head, focus
Yes.
on somebody else,
Yes.
and
Which is why
encourage
I
the
love
other
that
person.
young little Belgium girl. She was
Right.
just a sweetheart, and it
Yeah.
helped me more than she even probably knows. So,
Uh,
yeah. And
so
that's,
many great lessons that you
Yeah.
teach us.
well, thank you.
Now, here's the big one. No pressure. Anything on the horizon?
Um, well, I mean, I qualified for Nice, which is in September. So that's the Half Ironman
Okay.
World Championships in Nice.
Okay.
So I'd like to say I'm doing that. I think a month later, I would probably take on and try and do a spring Ironman if I, if everything plays out the way it should. Like if my back stops hurting on just a 30-mile ride. So when
Right.
that hopefully goes away and I continue to build up strength on my back, my work on my back and the strength in my hips and all those things, your glutes, your hip flexors, all those things. So I am cautiously optimistic that I would do another one. I kind of my goal, which is just crazy. My husband thinks it's nuts that I want to have 30 finishes there. So, and then I can be done. So
Ah,
28 just doesn't get it. So we'll see. I mean,
I love
But
it. I love
right?
it.
I mean, it's so important to have goals and
it
dreams
is.
and keep working towards them. I think that's part of aging successfully is
Well, I hope so.
having things that you look forward to continuing to do and never giving up.
I do. It's just really different when you're older, is all I can say. It's just I don't even know how to explain the difference even between 50, 60, 70. It's just different. And so part of this journey was also about learning to accept that. And
Mhm.
it's not always easy. And you're like,
Right.
but I want to keep up with these 55-year-olds. I want to
Right.
train with them, but it's different. It's different. So that's also been an illuminating piece of my journey this year.
Well,
You know,
let me ask you one quick question when you talk about age. Did you have a chance to meet Natalie?
I did. Yeah, we chatted.
How
Yeah.
was
Oh,
that? Because you're both
She
superstars. You're
she
just
is just a sweetheart. Like you're right. She's tiny, but she's just got this smile. And I mean, she's 80 and she's racing in a jog bra and short shorts. I mean, I am covered up. I mean, I'm just so impressed that she is willing, that's how she, changes her clothes and for each level. But yes, she is a darling
love
and
it.
kind. And I am just hoping to see her back. Like,
yeah.
honestly hoping.
A lot of really beautiful things came out of this Ironman this
Yes,
year.
yes, it
Really
was.
some great lessons for all of us to
Mhm.
learn.
Yeah,
Not
and it was just,
everybody's not
oh,
everybody's dialed into Ironman. We all
oh
are.
no,
No, yeah.
no,
But
they're
like
not.
And
it's an elite
hopefully,
sport. Like for
well,
real. It's an elite sport.
But
Yeah.
it's fun to watch the young girls come in. Like that to me
mhm,
is, and not even the professionals, just the young athletes. Like the
Yeah.
women I'll coach, and I just love. And young to me is anyone under 65. So that they're willing to take on something that's tough. It's tough, but
you
Yeah.
got
it's just
Marilyn and I don't have a point on a
Yeah.
a three-way.
us.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's one thing to say, it's another thing to really put your mind to it. You have to approach it. You really have to make room for it in your life.
you do.
You have
Yeah.
to
And
make
you have to
space
decide,
for it.
do I want to do
Mhm.
it under a 10-hour a week
Mhm.
thing, 12 hours?
Yeah.
I think,
Right.
and then can I be consistent? More than anything, it's really being consistent.
And that's
Like
a
if I just
great,
say, I'm going to take a month off of everything, I can't do that
right.
because I know how much you lose just not um,
Right.
even walking, kind of thing. So, yeah,
And that's
I,
a great lesson for life for anybody, whatever you're working on.
correct.
Yeah.
Consistency. I mean, if you decide to go back to get your doctorate degree,
Right.
you got to make a commitment to make the
Yes.
space for it. Now, it doesn't like life doesn't just, I don't think anybody has the luxury to just put everything in their life on
No,
and
you
focus
don't.
on a goal,
No.
Right.
right?
And
Did
so
it
that's
work
why you
that way for
decide,
you? No.
with a coach or whatever, you just decide what is the piece of the pie that I can give to this.
Yes.
And it'll be less in the winter and more in the spring and more
Right.
if you're doing a summer race or fall race,
Yeah.
so you have to look at you just have to kind of look at it for over the long haul.
Yeah. Aw. It's
Yeah.
so great to hear from you and it went
Thank you
so
for having
well
me.
overall. Excuse me?
No, thank you for having me. It's so special
Yeah.
to do this
Yes.
again. I love it. I told Jerome, I can't go shopping with you. I'm going to stay home. I can't wait to do this interview. Like, okay, I guess you're not going to the grocery store. Nope, staying home.
Ah,
So, yes, it just means the world to me that if I can help anyone or just, I don't know, just I don't know what that is. It's just
yeah.
Well, I
sweet.
can tell you,
So many, so much.
I think that it's about from your experiences, you can give people encouragement and positive affirmations, and just encourage people to go after their goals and dreams, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to just stay within Ironman and your
No.
passion. Like when you meet people, however you meet them in your life and in your world,
Mhm.
people are going through a lot of things.
Yes.
And just hearing your story of overcoming obstacles, can help somebody else in some way that you don't even know. So I think
Yeah.
it's just such a great, powerful story.
I love the keep pushing forward, keep moving
Yes.
Yes.
forward in
Keep moving.
anything you do. Like that's my key takeaway. Like that keeps playing in my head as we continue to talk. Like that's huge because it doesn't have to be like you said, leaps and bounds, little steps.
Little
No, just a
steps.
little bit at
Keeping
a
that
time.
forward motion,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming back to share with us about Kona.
Yeah.
And when we
A
get
huge
closer to
congratulations.
2029 next year,
26.
wait, how many have you
Oh,
done?
29 would be next year if I can make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
gonna do this again, and then we'll do it when you go on to 30. See where I'm going?
Yeah.
We're gonna be part of that journey for you.
Yes. Yeah.
We're your
I hope
cheerleading
so.
squad.
Thank you again for you
All
both,
right.
and the questions
Well,
and everything.
yeah, of course. And Marilyn, it's great to see you. I have people
Yes.
who ask me, they're excited to hear the three of us again. So
Glad to be
excited
back
to put
on.
this out for them. And yeah, we'll be in touch and I
Okay.
wish everybody the best. And um, yeah, thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Bye,
Keep rocking.
everybody.
Bye.
Keep rocking.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.